So it, like less than 12 hours ago, it was 57 degrees and it was pouring rain. So it's dropped like over 40 degrees and it's now pouring snow. So everything's nice and slippery. All right, need this truck and that trailer. All right, let's see if we can get this to start now. This one doesn't let you cycle the glow plugs? There it goes. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is the most unhealthy sounding battery charger. All right, let's try this now. Not super happy, but it started. I'm just gonna leave that running while it's on the trailer, just to make sure when I get it where I'm going, it'll still start, because it'll still be running. So I'm gonna strap this thing down real quick. All right, let's see if it'll restart. It's been running for like an hour. I'm gonna venture and say this thing needs a new battery. I bet you that'll help a lot. All right, let's start tearing into this thing. All right, I'm working on this New Holland Workmaster 25S. Was that this tractor has a really hard time starting when it's cold outside. So My original thought process was this tractor doesn't have a block heater, so I wanted to add one on. However, when I went over and started it, it just seems like the battery just doesn't have enough power to turn it over. This tractor is about 7 years old. It has never had a new battery in it. So I think I want to start by just going ahead and replacing the battery and see if that makes a difference. I do still want to see if I can add this, just because it is pretty nice to have one of those. Diesels don't like the cold a whole lot, so adding that would definitely make it a lot easier on this tractor, helping it start and also help with wear and tear on interior components inside of this motor. You know, I don't get why companies got to make batteries so hard to get to, because this is a pretty common wear and tear item on stuff, and then they put them in these really stupid locations. I mean, I am definitely going to arc that out. Jeez, that scared me. That's not even tight. How fun. Okay, now for the fun one. Okay, batteries out here. Pull this. Clean that out. Oh yeah, look at that. All right. Looks like Mr. Mouse has been in there. I'll clean that out. All right, I want to see if I can find a date on this battery. Never heard of that brand. All right, so this has got 430 cold cranking amps. What you think, Mo? Okay. I'm not seeing a date, which most batteries are dated. This one is not. My guess is that this is still the original one. They said they've never replaced it, and I'm the only other person that's done maintenance on this. Actually, I'm really the only person that's ever done any kind of maintenance on this, so. What you think, Healer? I think we need to go buy a new battery. Frozen. Okay. All right, a little while later, back from the parts store, and $190 later, this is what I got. All right, got the new battery in there. I guess let's see if this thing's gonna start. That thing started over with not too much trouble. It's about 22 degrees outside right now. I've had that little heater running in here, but if I had to venture to guess, it might be a couple degrees warmer in here, but not by much. So I guess let's see how this thing starts in the morning. Alright. Next morning, it got down to 19 last night. I think it's up to 20. just this little bit here is concrete. The rest of it's gravel and grass, so it was just above freezing less than 2 days ago. So I feel that's going to be pretty hard to do because the ground's not very frozen. But I guess let's see what we can do. Not too bad. There's hardly enough snow here to justify plowing it, but I did it anyways. Hoping I can pick up a couple more jobs this week. I guess we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's see if this one starts. I love this truck even though it is a piece of garbage, but I still love it. Well, I guess there's no point leaving that little bit. Alright, got that salted and majority of the snow off of it. I'm not going to worry so much out there. I just want it up here where you would slip getting into your car is going to be good. Now for this, it starts a lot better with that new battery in it. It fired right up with it being like 19. I do still want to look into putting a black heater on this. Getting a little lake effect snow. Alright, let's see how this is going to be. Started. Sweet. Alright, I'll let that warm up. Looks a little different this time of year. Looks like there's some people out there on the ice. Looks a little thin. What you think? You're just out there. So like right there, about 3 months ago was where we were at in the boat in the Xterra video. Right there by that willow tree. Things have changed in 3 months. That feels thin. There are people out there ice fishing though. Marlene, here. Come here. I think she smells birds. All right, got a little bit more snow. It's 15. Let's see if this is gonna start. Alright, redid this driveway, did a couple others. This was fun the first couple times, but after a few times it gets old. Trailer dropped off, tractor dropped off, and yeah, I think that does it. Alright, I guess let's go do something else.